Hi, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I apologize for per usual running late. I just had to get my coffee, and if the sitter comes through, I have to get baby bunny ready, so I'll have to take a minute. But welcome, everybody. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Let's get this intro going because we got some stuff to review today. Hopefully, we have time for everything, but I'm hoping that we will. Let's get this intro going right now. Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits. Drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits. Drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposing the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
The coffee hasn't quite hit me yet, so I'm trying to wake up. I'm trying to wake up. I need to wake up. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday, August 3rd. How many days? 100 and somebody said it was like 150 some days till Christmas. I'm not really ready for that. I'm not ready. I love the summer. Summer is like I just need to move somewhere where it's like summer 24/7. All day, every day. Yeah, right. I'll be hot all the time and it'll be just miserable. But shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a fantastic morning and that your drink is hitting right today because we got some stuff to review. Welcome. All right. So, first of all, let's start with the fact that, like, I thought, like, why don't we start right here? I'm not familiar with this YouTuber, but y'all remember the situation that happened with that with the that doll, the one that has been like contained in glass, and somebody, a young man decided to who deals with the occult, decided to move this doll. It said that this doll is like possessed, and the Warrens had this doll and whatnot. Y'all remember that? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys remember that, right? We talked about it briefly. I keep telling you guys, when it comes to things like this, people need to just respect and move on, and don't be messing with it, right? Well, there's actually 2 YouTubers. One of them is Matt Rife. Now, I'm not familiar with him. I think hope I said the name correctly. Yeah, the cursed doll. So basically coming from like The Conjuring, well, the doll is real. Although like it's like a Raggedy Ann doll, but it's real and it's apparently possessed. It was contained for many years. Somebody decided to open the container where this doll is at, and young man, I think his name is Dan Rivera, who recently passed away, right? He opens it, he passes away, like, I guess later on that night or the following day. They didn't find the doll in the room or anything like that, but you know, they're saying that it was probably his health conditions. Maybe there were other factors in there. He wasn't feeling well. Well, he passes away. He touches the doll and passes away. Okay, so there's that, right? However you want to cut it, but apparently, these two YouTubers, Matt Rife and Elton Castee, purchased building housing Annabelle doll. So this where this doll is at, they purchased that whole thing. You said it was the doll, Ronan. You are so sure about this. Listen, this is what they're saying. The duo plans to open the Warren home, which houses the famed Annabelle doll, for overnight stays and museum tours. Now, is this the only thing that's possessed, or are there other things that are possessed in this home? They bought the house, okay, so that people can spend the night at the house and for tours. Listen, I mean, he is a comedian. It's a museum. I've never been, but I do wonder, like, what's the museum? The whole topic is creepy. First of all, I don't know. It's a hard no. Well, what's that one hotel? What is it? That the people like to sleep at, and it's like very creepy and possessed. And yes, that's why I'm like, why do people mess with these things? All the things there are haunted. You said, Annabelle, do your thing, Lord. No, jeez. So he ain't gonna live there or stay there, but he will rent it for others and then profit off of that. Is that what the Warrens intended this to be? Yeah, I don't want to mess with no doubt. That's right. I just don't. Yeah. You got to be careful. Listen, I love going to thrift stores too, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm always kind of like creeped out about things clinging to things, the things that I don't see that cling to things. You don't always have to worry about bed bugs. Sometimes there's things in there that you got to be careful that clings onto certain things. You got to be careful. I really am. I'm a believer of stuff like that, that I'm like, it's not, this isn't something that some Tide soap or some detergent is going to like take care of, if you know what I mean. You said it's a collection of items gathered by the real ghost chasers. Oh my goodness. Tinkle Tits. Thank you. Testing stuff. Love you all. Oh my God. I love you, Tinkle Tits. I hope you're doing well. I'm just saying you gotta be careful. So yeah, sometimes it's not always like spiritual. It might be lice, might be bed bugs, it might be, you gotta be careful when you pick up certain things, and it's not always some hot water and soap that could take out of it. Like some of it is spiritual, you know? What's gonna remove that? That's crazy. Anyways, let's get into this article, because when I saw this, I said, "Oh no, 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 it's no bueno." But anyways, the comedian Matt Rife and YouTuber Elton Castee announced that they've purchased the Warren home in Connecticut, which houses the famed Annabelle doll. The doll was made famous by the Conjuring movie series that was based on the works of Ed and Lorraine Warren. In a post on Instagram, Rife said that he will be the legal guardian of the Annabelle doll and the entire haunted collection for at least the next 5 years. Rife said that he and Castee plan to open the Warren home in Monroe, Connecticut for overnight stays and museum tours. You have got to be kidding me. They're doing it so that people can experience and learn about the building's haunted history. This is them? Oh, that's not cute. Let's see if we can go to their Instagram. Hold up, let me show y'all. They just done take a picture out of this. He says, I have officially purchased the Ed and Lorraine Warren home, the occult museum, including being the legal guardian of at least for the next 5 years. of the entire haunted collection, including the Annabelle doll, with my good friend Elton Castee. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with paranormal and all things haunted. You also may know the Conjuring films are my favorite scary movie of all time. So I'm incredibly honored to have taken over one of the most prominent properties in paranormal history. I didn't even know this thing was on sale. Okay. Ed and Lorraine Warren arguably put demonology and paranormal into the mainstream and are at the very heart of some of the most famous haunted stories of all time. The Conjuring House, Amityville Horror. We plan to open the museum for overnight stays and museum tours so you yourself can experience and learn of all the haunted history surrounding this amazing place. Do you guys think that the Warrens intended for all this to happen? Like, it's one thing for them to joke about this, but do you honestly think that they intended for all this to happen? For this to be made this way? Then why didn't they burn the doll? Why didn't they burn the other stuff? They have a son, right? Has their son spoken out about this? But weren't the Warrens making money too, to a certain degree? I don't know. You said James got that pucker going, got the pucker going. Lord have mercy. Listen, they had her locked up and blessed regularly. Oh, Lily. Lily Onassis. I don't know, man. The grandson has spoken, Morrison? Some don't sound right about this whole situation. He said he's about to be in possession in more ways than he wants to know. Yeah, it's one thing to purchase the legal guardian of a doll. The family is okay with this? I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think. I mean, I guess it just gives more views for the story of the. I mean, this is literally the. Anyways, so last month, Dan Rivera, a paranormal investigator and one of the doll's handlers, died suddenly, according to the New England Society of Psychic Research. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the paranormal, with all things paranormal. Right, Rife said. So this is Dan who died suddenly. Okay. They have this doll there. The glass is meant. I mean, I don't know how I feel. Here's the deal. I'm conflicted. Let me tell you why. Okay. I'm conflicted about this educational piece, but I'll tell you something. There's something that really bothers me about the way in which they have this doll in this little capsule. They have her blessed regularly. I don't know how I feel about. How do you if something is paranormal and can't be contained and is in a glass little thing and is in there for a reason. If you're why are you constantly blessing a demon? Why not get rid of it by burning it? I don't know. Like this whole right here thing, even the way in which it's kept, it gives me the creeps. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think that it's a like why even the way in which it's kept. I don't like. It should have been gotten rid of a long time ago. If it's dangerous. Mm. I don't know, y'all.
Going to nurse.
Anyways, well, hopefully, they don't have an F around and find out moment because that's the kind of stuff that you're inviting with stuff like that. You should gotta be careful. That's it. And you respect it. But I just don't like the way in which they're kind of like I thought the story was done with them, with what had happened, but now that it's like they're praising it. You know what I mean? That's right. That's right. And here we go. Going over this story right now. Lord have mercy. We gotta be careful, okay? People gotta be careful. People mess around with too many things like that. You just never know. Okay, moving on. Let's move on because I don't even like talking about that story, but I thought I'd bring it to everybody's attention. This is an interesting situation here with JLO, okay? Jennifer Lopez meal during 2-day visit will cost Armenia $37,000. Well, what the hell is she eating? Cuz she gives me salad eater. There's $37,000 salads out there. Let me know. Is that the Regal salad? Hold up. Is that the Regal salad? Lord have mercy. It's the Regal salad, y'all. It's the Regal salad. Okay. Oh my god. If you know, you know. That was what was it? That was 2020, 2025, 2024. The Regal salad. Okay, let's pop star Jennifer Lopez concert in, is it Yerevan, on August 3rd as part of her Up and Not Up All Night tour will be funded by the Armenian state budget. The allocated expenses have raised concerns amongst the locals. On Thursday, the Armenian government formally decided to direct $6 million originally allocated in 2023 to a Snoop Dogg concert to the organizers of the Lopez Yerevan performance, which was originally announced in April. Snoop Dogg's concert never took place due to the attacks that happened that same year. I can't even pronounce it. I'm just going to say attacks because there's, different locations, which eventually led to the displacement of the region's almost entirely Armenian population. According to an examination of Lopez's concert budget, they have a budget. There are large amounts of money included in the expenses, the justification and appropriateness of which raised questions. One example was the amount allocated solely for Lopez food, which is estimated to cost the Armenian state a budget of $14.4 million, which is, I guess, in US $37,000. Lopez food cost 2.4 times more than the money allocated for her team's meals, which are estimated to cost $16,000. While her dressing room staff meals are estimated to cost $10,000, the hotel cost of Lopez and her team amount is to $185,000, out of which $10,000 would be solely for her stay. In addition, Lopez will be paid $2.6 million for her performance itself. I got to look at this budget. I don't understand it. It's in the Armenian language. If a meal costs $6,000, that means that they're like eating endangered species. Now, I used to be a vegetarian for 10 years, but I'm okay with eating the meat, just not the ones that it's only a few left. Young Black economists, but why are they doing this? So she should be, well, should she, or should Armenia be concerned about this? I don't know who should be. I mean, the fact that they're willing to pay for this ish, like for someone to sing that doesn't really sing. Can this be translated to me? Let's see. I don't know if I can translate this. Yada yada yada. Let's translate this to English. Okay. Look it. I got it translated. Yay. Thank you, Google. $6 million from the state budget for Jennifer Lopez concert. $37,000 for her 2-day meal and $185,000 for hotels. This is going to be a short video later on today because the outrage for her to be doing this shit right here. You're kidding. I'm gonna have to. I gotta book this. I gotta bookmark this. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you what they're gonna be paying for. Okay, I need to tell you guys what they're going to be paying for, because they cannot be real on this. They cannot be. I don't know, where's my bookmark that I had on this. I cannot believe that they would do this. Not only Armenia, but like, yeah, JLO, they're supporting this. I get that, but Armenia is the one with the problem here, okay? That's the reality of it. They're the ones with the problem here. This is, there you go.
Pero estar libres para que ser quienes quería ser, libres para cumplir vuestros sueños, simplemente libres.
Gracias para vivir en la casa,
Spanglish.
en las escuelas, en el azul marcada. Tienes con vivir en las fotos. Gracias.
Libres. Pero
2.6 million, and then $37,000 for meals. Okay. Exactly. I agree, minds y'all. Both sides are wrong. Si se puede sacar la basura, por favor. That's right. Y'all are paying. Listen, Armenia, I don't know. I don't like, she should be ashamed of herself. No, because y'all are paying for her. I mean, she wouldn't be there if people weren't paying for her to perform. I mean, luckily, she's not required to speak Spanish over there. So, you posted the diet on in Discord. You did, Aduko? Wait, but there's no like, it's a Regal salad or what? What are we doing? I cannot. Hold up. This is Jennifer Lopez's exact breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's no secret that she likes to work out. Okay, so her, I think this is what her meal is going to consist of. Maybe. Let's see. Breakfast. She likes to start with her day with lemon water. It's believed to promote healthy skin due to vitamin C found in lemons, as well as it aids in digestion. She does a little protein powder, a little protein shake. This is her lunch. It's a Regal salad for sure. This is her snack. This is her dinner. And dessert. She does eat cookies. Okay. All right then. Wow. So it must be yeah, it's a million for, that's right. It's $1 million for lemons. You can't make this up. Anyways, you guys, I'm shook right now. I didn't know she couldn't speak Spanish. You think someone with as much money as she has, you think she would have like been fluent by now? Pay yourself a little tutor, pay yourself a little somebody. I mean, pay the person that created Rosetta Stone to help you out, because if you're gonna be reaching out to the Latino population, you don't got time for this. I mean, she got time for everything. You could just have a tutor fly with you, help you with the help you roll your R's. Reloj. Okay? Like, it's just help you. You said JLo be like, por favor, quiero chilaquiles con ketchup. Y'all are horrible. Come on, Tinko Tits. Be nice. You know, she practiced for hours, Rabbit. I know, right? But she gonna work that shit out, right? Bologna sandwiches are good. She's gonna work all that out. You know, she's burning like thousands of calories while she's dancing. You know, I'll give her that. She's a good dancer. She's just not a good singer. You know, like I said, this is Armenia's budget. We're gonna have to do a different video on that. So I'm gonna pin that right there so we can come back to it. Jenny from the block can't speak Spanish. No, she cannot. She cannot. Y'all are so funny. Anyways, moving on. We're gonna pin Jenny from the block here in a little bit. I cannot believe it that we got to talk about that in a separate video. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Jenny from the block and her Lord have mercy, her diet and her required, what is it, payment. Hold up. Now, what is this? Guys, let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. So, so did you guys know that they caught Elizabeth Holmes outside taking a little jog? And of course, now everybody's paying attention to where Ghislaine Maxwell's at and Elizabeth Holmes being there, right? So she's spotted out there. This is like the conversation today, right? Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes spotted at Ghislaine Maxwell's new prison. Well, the lady's there, okay? Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes has been seen at the same Texas prison now housing convicted trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. Both women are serving a lengthy sentence at federal prison camp Bryan, a minimum security facility in Bryan, a facility well known for housing white collar and often referred to as the Club Fed. They call it Club Fed for its less restrictive environment. Holmes was spotted jogging within the prison grounds over the weekend. They caught her running, and so now it's like it's the conversation and the talk of the town. I mean, what? eh, I don't know. You said the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in the same facility. Really? It's the same that because they said that there was a celebrity that was a reality TV person. So this is where these celebs go. They've called it Club Fed for years. Why do they call it that? Less restrictive environment literally means there's no offenses. You can walk away from the prison if you want to at any time. Well, she could take a little stroll out. Um, Club Fed. That's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the talk of the town. The Daily Beast is reporting that Trump administration broke rules to move Ghislaine to Club Fed camp. The Daily Beast is like having a field day on reporting on this, which I'm like, take it for what it's worth, because I'm not a fan of the Daily Beast. You know, they're kind of up there with like Page Six and whatnot. Jeffrey Epstein accomplice was moved to a lower security after a 2-day talk with the Justice Department. It's interesting that it does come after a 2-day talk. I will say though, the facility on the pictures does look nice. I mean, it's nicely kept up. Do they have them do the yard, or they do the yard, or who does the yard work? I mean, that should be part of their, like, I don't know, life skills facility thing. Convicted child ST Ghislaine Maxwell secured a secret prison transfer. It was a secret transfer. I mean, a lot of us were surprised by the secret. How did she secure it? Is this part of the pardon package? Is this part of the I'm cooperating with the government package? I don't know. After the Bureau of Prisons waived a rule designated to punish S offenders, Maxwell, alleged S trafficker Jeffrey Epstein accomplice, has spent the last 3 years serving a 20-year sentence at a federal prison in Tallahassee, Florida. She was transferred to a lower security federal prison camp closer to her family in Bryan, Texas. So people were saying like, oh my God, you know, she's closer to her family. That's why the transfer happened. Yeah, potentially, but still, it's weird to me. Last week, after the reportedly spent 2 days speaking with the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, about her connection to Epstein. The move required the Bureau to waive its policies. There's the red flag right there. The move required the Bureau to waive its policies that convicted S offenders must be held at least at a low-level prison. Maxwell received a waiver to facilitate the move, according to MSNBC reporter Ken, which gave her access to a less restrictive prison environment than the one in Tallahassee. The federal prison camp is a minimum security facility with the dorm-like housing. Yeah, it's giving dorm, meeting the Bureau of Prisons' lowest security level designation. Low-level security prisons are a step up from prison camps. A prison consultant told the reporter that he had never seen this done before for an S offender. The Bureau of Prisons, which confirmed Maxwell's move last week, did not respond to immediate requests for comment, including whether it waived the policy for Maxwell. Maxwell's attorneys also did not respond to an immediate request for comment. The Miami reporter Julie K. Brown predicted that Maxwell would be moved on the Daily Beast podcast this week. Ooh, so somebody predicted this. Okay. Whose reporting on Epstein in 2018 renewed interest in the story and led new federal charges, noted that jails were inherently a dangerous place. She wouldn't necessarily be safe anywhere, Brown said. This is the podcast. Okay. It's easy to cover up a crime in jail, Brown said. The cameras are broken, guards fall asleep. They are, for the most part, very corrupt. That I do agree with, right? They are, for the most part, very corrupt. I mean, people want to say that Epstein K'd himself. I don't believe that. Not for 1 minute, not for 1 second. But yeah, you said she can pay for her safety. Oh, a waiver wasn't recorded when she first moved, or required when she first moved. You think it was a quid pro quo? I believe it's a quid pro quo. Maybe. Please tell me this place doesn't have a spa. They probably have a pool. I don't know. It's giving dorm life. You know what I mean? It's giving college dorm life. It further goes. The move also came after she reportedly was threatened by other inmates for being a snitch, according to the Daily Mail. The publicity around her conversation with the Justice Department reportedly put a target on her back. Well, we knew that was going to happen. As soon as Ghislaine spoke to the government, she was considered a snitch by other inmates at Tallahassee. There were very real and very credible threats to her life. So maybe that's what caused her move. Okay. Federal Correctional Institutions, the FCI Tallahassee, where Maxwell had stayed before her transfer, has faced challenges in recent years. Multiple guards have been convicted of assaulting inmates in recent years, and Maxwell had already faced threats from inmates after she reported them over a blackmail campaign. Okay. The Bryan, Texas prison, however, is a professionally run prison camp with a great warden, working cameras everywhere, and properly trained staff. There's a different class of people at Bryan, so she is less likely to be attacked. I wonder if they're going to put Yolanda Saldivar there at some point. The prison also houses disgraced Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes and Real Housewife of Salt Lake City star Jen Shah. The families of Epstein victims condemned the move, saying it smacks of a cover-up. I agree. Maxwell is currently working to overturn her December 21 conviction for grooming young girls for Epstein to abuse. Her lawyers have argued that in 2007, a plea agreement between Epstein and the U.S. Attorney's Office in Florida, which agreed not to prosecute multiple unnamed co-conspirators, also applied to her. This is what Reuters reported, and we actually talked about this here. Maxwell has also reportedly sought a pardon from President Trump, who has not ruled it out as his alleged connection to Epstein have become a topic of intense speculation, even among his most loyal followers. So more information on the little prison camp. But yeah, you said, yeah, maybe that's why they sent her there. Easier for another prisoner to get her. I don't know. I mean, if it's a step down camp, I don't know if that's necessarily the case for them to kind of easily get her. But I do wonder, and I'm just saying, I do wonder, what do we make of this situation? Her safety being a concern. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but let me know. You said it worries me that y'all in the chat know so much about the prison system there. James is like, have y'all been here? Let me know. You guys are funny. Let's see. I guess we'll see. You say that's why. And why the F is getting all this preferential treatment. She's a liar, Anna. Yeah, she is. and a Pedialyte. Cheers. So let me go back a little bit. We need to talk about this a little bit more because people are going haywire in these comments. Lord have mercy. So for those that don't know, we I gave some commentary about Lawrence Taylor, right? And somebody in the comments is really going off on this. Okay, so I kind of want to go back to this a little bit because people were, I think it lends itself for a conversation, right? As we're talking about Pedialytes and stuff like that. Okay, give me one sec. So Lawrence Taylor is a convicted SO. Okay. Google him, look into him, do your own research when it comes to this. He's a convicted SO. He was invited to the White House, and he spoke briefly at the White House. He's like the youth panel lead or something like that, a program and initiative that they have for youth and fitness. Guys, give me 1 second. I got somebody at my door. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, y'all. I had somebody at my door. Okay. So let's talk about this little comment right here. Okay. So the person had written, and I thought it was interesting to kind of review this so we could talk a little bit more about this because it goes deeper, right? When I had posted this, the person wrote, was he convicted though? Was it a crime against children? Proof of any SO, not just accusations? While I'm not for victim bashing, I'm also mature enough to know people make up lies on people too for the smallest reasons. But if no proof, why not let the man live? But if he was guilty, I'll be the first to speak out against it, okay? This is what they said. So then somebody said in the comments, I guess you haven't read the Google post on the picture. It says he violated a 16-year-old child. I mean, why would anyone be okay with that? And then she responds, I saw the ad. I asked if he was convicted, pled guilty. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm sincerely asking. Lots of innocent people go to prison too. It does work both ways. Accusations and convictions are two totally different meanings. I see so many posts by many people before knowing all of the facts. Being guilty myself, admittedly, by all of us, but all of us should be slow to post and quicker to know facts before. Okay. possibly spreading gossip and misinformation. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just asking since it's the first I've heard. Rabbit may already know it was sincere on his question. Can't ask questions without people feeling bent out of shape. Anyways, okay, so she keeps going with that. And then the person responds, yes, he was convicted. He says, okay, thank you. And then somebody says, 15 years ago, he ordered a call girl. The girl says she was 19 years old, but she was only 16 years old. Hence the R charges, along with the prostitution charge. So then somebody says, stop asking questions and go to the answers. You're fully capable, yet you're here refusing to use cognitive thinking while parroting far right nonsense. Whoa, calm down. You're very calm and show your intentions. Shame on you. Somebody responded. I did afterwards, however, I started and I asked as I was reading because I never heard of the man before. And if a creator posts something and their followers are surely going to receive questions from the time. No, I'm not ashamed of myself. I had questions posted by the creator's page about this post. Get your panties out of a wad. Somebody said, be open to other proof besides convictions. Okay. Be open to proof besides other convictions. Young economists, thank you for renewing your memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be open to other proof besides convictions. What does that mean? So even that got me stuck. So I was like reading, I was like, huh? Okay. Be open to proof besides convictions. This is what the person said. Person respond, I wanted more information. Casting any judgment one way or another is all. Okay. Somebody said, I understand and appreciate your due diligence. I just meant that in the grand scheme of things, few victims ever come forward and let alone prosecute. And while they're taking an axe to all the woke legislation throughout our culture, along with it goes a bunch of victim protections. Somebody said, shout out to Power, Soul Power Coaching said, he was convicted and he's a registered child SMEX offender as well. So yes, he's guilty as charged. Rabbit actually did research in one of the lives yesterday before she made the post. I did. And somebody said, you are absolutely incorrect. So somebody in here tagged Soul Power and said, you're absolutely incorrect. He was convicted of patronizing an prostitute. It said nothing about child SO. Okay. So let's keep going. It says he's a level 1, which is the lowest danger. And that is what they're given when patronizing an prostitute. I thought everyone was for not shaming a S worker. Well, Florida requires you to register for life whether or not you are dangerous. The other was charged and he believed she was older, but doesn't say convicted. Huh? I was like, what? Wait a minute. I was so confused by this comment. I said, he says, you are absolutely incorrect. He was convicted of patronizing an prostitute. The prostitute, which I hate using the word child and prostitute in the same sentence because it shouldn't be allowed. The prostitute was a 16-year-old runaway who apparently lied about her age. Okay. But she was still a 16-year-old runaway who was assaulted before going into the act. Well, are they saying that? Y'all see what I'm saying? I don't know what to make of it. So then they further go. I'm like, oh, we get into the details. Okay. They further say, so this person responds to another person. You are correct. He was only convicted of using an prostitute. I thought we were all about not shaming S work these days. Nobody's shaming S work. It said nothing about underage. Huh? He is a level 1 SO, which means he isn't dangerous. And in Florida, they require lifetime registry no matter what. Many states allow you to come off after 10 years, depending on your crime. Former investigator here and mom of 3 adult children. My son was also falsely accused by a girl he turned down when he was 19 years old and she was 17. And he was thankfully not charged because she admitted it before she went to court. So I'm so sorry. I'm not on the camp of believing anything. Don't let people who jump into conclusions shame you for them not reading the information themselves. Somebody said, then he paid for his crime until he is convicted of another. Let him be. I am so confused. So, anyways, I wanted to show y'all just what's being said, right? Um, does anybody make sense? Let me know. Maybe I missed it. Let's see. We could pull up Taylor, Lawrence Taylor. Let's look into this. Okay. All right. This is, and of course, this is Google. Take it for what it's worth. This is what we read. Lawrence Taylor, a former NFL star, has several convictions on his record. His prominent conviction stems from a 2011 case where he pled guilty to a misdemeanor sexual misconduct and patronizing a prostitute in New York. This case involved a 16-year-old girl who was being trafficked. Although Taylor claimed he believed she was 19 as a result of this conviction, he was sentenced to 6 years probation and required to register as an S offender. He was designated a level 1 low risk S offender. Here's my thing. This case still involved the 16-year-old girl could have said she was a 19-year-old prostitute. Nobody's shaming the work. Who said that they shamed the work? Yeah, so I'm like, why are we going back and forth on this? Let me see. That's what are we reading the same thing? She was still a minor. You're shaming S workers when focusing is on the John that he has done, right? He avoided being labeled a pedo. That's it. A Pedialyte. I don't know. I'm wondering why everybody was circling that too. Like, what? He says he was only convicted of using prostitutes. I thought we were all, who shamed who is shaming prostitutes? I don't get this. I just have to ask that one question. But clearly she's somebody who's probably been through it. Yeah, I'm just wondering. So let's further read this. He's a low-level offender. I don't know if that's part of his plea deal. I don't know if he had a plea. I have no idea. But he could very well have said, I made a plea. This is what the result was. It further goes, Taylor has faced subsequent legal issues related to his S offender registry status. Both in 2021 and 2024, he was arrested in Florida for failing to report changes of address as mandated by his S offender registration. So why did he fail to register? He knows he's a registered S offender. Why did he fail to report his address? That's the question. While the felony charges relate to the 2024 arrest were later reportedly dropped, it highlighted the ongoing nature of his legal obligation. It should be noted that he has a history of and we're not even mentioning the rug use, okay? That we're not even mentioning that at all. So what is he? What's the deal? Yeah, it's like R. Kelly asking, define a teenager? What's define a teenager? Huh? feel free to respond to those comments because I'm sitting there and I'm like, huh? I'm so confused by this. 25 as a teenager. Yeah. I've heard people say different things when they say define a teenager. It has teen on their age. No, but Ronan, people have said that it's anybody who like if it's a woman, it's anybody who starts, there. I've heard this before. People justify this. Well, she started her monthly or she started her thing. That's defined as a teenager. Okay. Even though children are starting a lot younger nowadays, but okay. Because they love that what's happening in our country right now. They will argue against any government. Yeah, it's crazy. And nowadays you have to ask for IDs when it comes to this stuff. You have to be careful. Anyway, so I just thought I'd showed you guys just the mental gymnastics that we are doing on our comment section. I just want to know who's patronizing it, because you're not gonna gaslight. I'm like, who patronized who? Who is shaming prostitute work? What do you mean? He was convicted. The girl was 16 and she was a runaway. Like, what are we doing here? We going semantics? Okay. Anyways, let's move on from this, okay? Because we'll be here forever if we keep going back and forth on this. So I just wanted to show you guys just kind of like the comments and whatnot. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Okay, guys. Let's talk about Ariel Mitchell kid, okay? Ariel Mitchell kid, you said straight up, I don't mess with anybody, 25, yeah. For those who don't remember, Ariel Mitchell kid, I know sounds like somebody wanted to pick a fight. I agree. Y'all remember the woman who's a lawyer, right? She's a lawyer. She came forward during the Diddy trial and she was representing, some Diddy victims. Allegedly, she's still representing one, I believe. Well, the reason why many of us knew of Ariel, her name is not Kid anymore. I think she's no longer a kid. She's just Ariel Mitchell. Ariel Mitchell is there's been a bar complaint submitted against her. Okay. Now let me put a picture up. Maybe you guys might remember her. Now I have to give credit to a creator here on YouTube who first talked about this. Actually, I found out was it Vicky who gave me the heads up, and then there's a creator here by the name, I've tagged her on the video. Her name is Pam Esquire, the Law Intellect. She actually started talking about this bar complaint that was submitted against Ariel Mitchell kid. Okay. Now let me pull up a picture of her so you guys can know what I'm talking about. Ariel Mitchell is the one that did the News Nation interviews. You guys might remember her. This is her. Hold up. This is her. Put a one in the chat if you remember her. Yeah, people are telling themselves. That's right. This is her. Well, I don't want to show her LinkedIn. Hold up. This is her. For those that might have forgotten. This is her. Y'all remember her, right? You guys remember her? Okay, good. I see everybody putting a one. Okay, so Ariel Mitchell, she did so many interviews. She got a lot of controversy. A lot of people were talking about her because she basically said that she had a client. She was alleging that one of her clients was like doused in like baby oil that allegedly might have had GHB. That's how it might have been transferred to her skin, and it might have like paralyzed her to a certain degree or something, and she was abused that way. There were so many people that were named in this lawsuit. Ariel Mitchell kid did some interviews here on YouTube about it. She also represented Courtney Burgess. For those that don't remember Courtney Burgess, Ariel and Courtney are both being sued by Diddy, but Courtney Burgess was the one that said that he was holding on to child prawn. Let's see, it was this guy right here. Yada yada, this guy right here. He claims to have been one of the source of the Kim Porter book. This guy right here, and he did a lot of interviews with Sean Atwood and others, and just peddling conspiracy and lies that, clearly we have found out a lot of them are lies and stuff like that. Okay. So, yeah, baby oil talk on a Sunday. I said between the dolls and the baby oils, I don't know what else to make. Did not have substance. That was you're absolutely right. It wasn't even brought up in the criminal case. But I'm letting you guys know what Ariel Mitchell said, right? She said that there was this, that the baby oil had whatchamacallit, GHB on it. Honestly, let's be very real. If the baby oil had GHB on it, that would have been a whole different charge for Diddy. That would have been part of the criminal trial, and it wasn't. The thing about Diddy is that you don't have to lie about Diddy, and I've said this before, like, shit will get revealed as things go on, right? It's crazy. Yes, Ariel Mitchell, Courtney Burgess, and Chris Toad were like a hot mess in the summer of 2024. Later in in the holiday season of 2024 and the beginning of the year, it was just too much. It was too much. And Terry, thank you for becoming a member. So it's one of those things where it's like, the mental gymnastics on some of that, like the lies that they peddle, is too much. Well, for those that don't know, Ariel was representing a victim against Trey Songs. Okay. Trey Songs, and this was clearly way before Diddy. So this is where a lot of us kind of knew Ariel Mitchell from Trey Songs and this whole lawsuit that she's had. Well, there's been a Florida bar complaint placed against Ariel Mitchell on this, and I have to talk about it. And again, shout out to Pam Esquire, the law intellect on YouTube, because I tagged her on the video because I first heard of this news through her channel, and I was able to find the bar complaint. So again, this was filed on June 24, 2025. So just about a week and a half ago. No, about a week ago. And this is the bar complaint. The Florida bar complainant files this complaint against Ariel Elise Mitchell, respondent under the rules regarding the Florida bar, and alleges the respondent is, and at all times relevant to this matter, was a member of the Florida bar admitted on October 28, 2016, and is subject to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of Florida. The respondent resided and practiced law in Miami-Dade County, Florida, at all times relevant to this matter. The 11th Judicial Circuit Grievance Committee, D, found probable cause to file this complaint under Rule 3-7.4 of the rules regulating the Florida bar. This matter arises from false statements made by respondent while defending herself against allegations of witness tampering in a high-profile complaint against a celebrity. Following lengthy litigation of sanctions motions based on the same allegations in the civil court, the bar concluded its investigation, and the instant complaint follows. The respondent represents individuals who allege they have been essayed by celebrities. Look at this. She represents individuals who allege that they have been essayed by celebrities. You think her license is going to go bye-bye? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please, and thank you. Damn. Let's keep going. On or about January 2021, she began representing Jahara Jeffries, the plaintiff, who claims that she was essayed by a musician, Tremaine Neverson, which is known as Trey Songs, for those that don't know, during a New Year's Eve celebration in Miami. In the course of investigating plaintiff's claims, respondent made contact with potential witness Mariah Thielen. The two women met in person on April 22nd, 2021, and discussed plaintiff's claims over the course of a meal. Afterwards, Neverson's defense counsel, Ned Nashbin, the complainant, was made aware of the meeting. Complainant spoke to Thielen about the interaction, and thereafter his office prepared a sworn declaration for her to sign. Thielen signed the sworn declaration on April 24, 2021. In the declaration, Thielen described the meeting with respondent and her understanding that she was being offered compensation in exchange for corroborating plaintiff S.A. claim. Thielen declaration alleged that respondent claimed to have contacted several paparazzi and news media outlets about plaintiff's claim, and those organizations would pay respondent and her client for the story. Look at this. So allegedly, it's being alleged that lawyer paid for paparazzi footage coverage on this. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Complainant initiated a bar complaint in May of 2021, alerting the bar to respondents' apparent witness tampering. Neverson's mother and Thielen also filed bar complaints concerning the same conduct. So Neverson's mother would be Trey Songs' mom, and Thielen also filed bar complaints concerning the same conduct. The respondent was notified of these complaints in May 2021. On May 13, 2021, the bar issued correspondence to respondent informing her that the bar complaint filed by Thielen and Neverson's mom were closed in order to avoid duplicate efforts. The letter stated that the bar was aware of the allegations and we are investigating this matter. In June of 2021, respondent acknowledged receipt of complainant's bar complaint and provided the bar with a response. In the course of a civil matter, Neverson obtained new counsel. On or about February 15, 2021, Neverson's new defense counsel, Jeffrey Nieman, filed defendant motion for sanction of dismissal for witness tampering. In the underlying civil matter, the motion was supported by Thielen, April 24, 2021 sworn declaration. That morning, the judicial assistants emailed respondent to a set of hearing for the sanctions motion. Respondent's email in response sent February 15, 2023 stated this motion is without merit and has already been reported and investigated by the Florida Bar where no action was taken. Okay. Neverson's motion caught the attention of multiple news and media outlets. Throughout the day, respondent was contacted by various media outlets by phone, email, and text asking for a comment on the conduct alleged in the motion for sanctions. Respondent did agree to speak with members of the press on this issue. Respondent spoke to a reporter at TMZ on February 15, 2022 and stated, these allegations were filed back in May 2021 with the Florida Bar, and no action was undertaken by the bar due to inconsistent testimony and no evidence. I will be further exonerated as I was when these allegations was previously made by defendant Songs, prior's attorney. So Ariel Mitchell Kid has been accused of trying to, I guess, buy testimony or like bribe people to make testimony against the accusers, like Trey Songs. Okay. So people are aware. Respondent also spoke to a representative from Billboard on May 15, 2022, without quoting respondent. Billboard reported that she said the same claims of witness tampering had been raised by Song's legal team last year, and that she had already been cleared by the Florida Bar. In the same article, respondent was quoted saying, if the Florida Bar believed I committed such egregious actions like bribing a witness, I would not be practicing law right now. Well, how come the bar hasn't investigated this, or have they? You have a lawyer that says that she is representing victims, right? She's being accused by Trey Songs and company over this. I have a lot of questions. How come they haven't investigated? Well, what have they found out? You know, is it? I want to say is it debacto? Yet the person in office should have someone with no S crimes around kids. I think you're a little late on the comments, my love. Thank you so much for the $4.99. I appreciate the support. You're talking about Lawrence Taylor. Yeah. I have a lot of questions about that. Thank you though. I appreciate the support. Thank you. It further goes. Do keep in mind the new strategies to sue and complain about the attorneys. It's the Jay-Z move. Ooh. But it does Landa 188. The thing about Ariel, and is Night Charm in the chat? Yeah, I know Night Charm does not like Ariel Mitchell Kid. The thing about Ariel is she's always struck me as like, and maybe it's the way in which she's handled herself online, is that she's to me, she's no different than Tyrone Blackburn. Does that make sense? Where it's like, are they for the victims or are they for themselves or their social media push? That's the thing about like these lawyers. You have to side. It's the same with Busby. I don't know if Busby's for the victims. I don't think he doesn't show that to me, right? There's a lot of good lawyers out there. You don't see them doing this BS where they're representing these victims, but then they're making a spectacle of themselves on social media. There's a candor and behavior that a lawyer, like I would never. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. If I was victimized by a celebrity, I wouldn't know who to trust. And these people are pro bono, right? Because they're going to get paid one way or another. They're 15 minutes of fame, right? That you said you wouldn't even hire them for your dog. That's what I'm saying. Don't forget what Ariel said, and then you're representing court. What came out of Courtney's? I have USB. I have tapes, Diddy tapes. What Diddy tapes did they have? None of these people testified in court. None of them. You couldn't even find Ariel Mitchell at the Diddy trial. Tyrone Blackburn got accused of, Brianna Bangolo's case of just misbehaving in that case. Tyrone Blackburn showed up to the Diddy trial for a couple days, and he heard his name was going to be mentioned, and he jumped out of the window. And he was like, fuck this, I'm out. I don't want this kind of media. Then he runs over a process server who's trying to serve him on the Fat Joe situation. What happened there? He gets in trouble over running over a process server. Maybe it was an accident. I don't know, but don't run over the process server. I don't like process servers. Nobody does, but don't run over process servers. Don't do that. You could avoid them, but don't run over them. Because that's just like another charge waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? He did. He pulled a Suge Knight on that process server. He didn't K the guy, but I'm just saying, like, he ran over that process. Tyrone Blackburn, he's just trying to do his process server job. He's a lawyer. He should know. Yeah, he took you took the words out of my mind when it's he went Grand Theft Auto. Woo! You know how you play the game and it's like fun when you're like, just going crazy on that game. Anyways, let me stop. Give me 1 sec, guys. I got the sitter here. 1 second. Sorry about that. I just had to get off camera. Yeah, he went GTA. Okay. Let's keep going. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, if you guys can just hit the like button, that'd be great. Thank you. I do have a sitter that comes in, and every once in a while I'll treat the sitter to food or something like that. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Okay. Let's keep going with this. So Ariel Mitchell said that she wouldn't be practicing law if the Florida bar um you know found her to be doing something wrong. Okay, and it further goes. On February 22nd, 2022, the bar issued correspondence to respondent that confirmed the investigation in file number 2021-7465 remained pending and was being forwarded to the grievance committee. So that file, that investigation of her bar license she's being investigated, okay? Please note that. They haven't forgotten. So they did find that there's an actual bar investigation and it's being forwarded to the grievance committee. Therefore, respondent did not retract her statements made to the judicial assistant regarding the status of her bar investigation. Likewise, respondent did not retract her statement made to the various media outlets regarding the status of her bar investigation. In addition to misrepresenting the status of her bar investigation and bar complaint to media outlets, respondent made false statements regarding Thielen's alcohol consumptions during their dinner meeting in order to discredit her. In her initial response to the bar, respondent denied Thielen's version of events and denied offering any compensation for Thielen's testimony. Respondent attacked Thielen's credibility, falsely claiming Mariah drank heavily at our meeting. I do not drink and did not drink. I know Mariah had between 2 to 3 hard liquor tequila cocktails during our less than an hour and a half meeting. In response to Neverson's motion for sanctions of dismissal, respondent filed a motion to strike and incorporate her initial response to the bar as Exhibit A. By incorporating her bar response, she raised her allegations of Thielen's intoxication and lack of credibility before the court. The hearing on the motion for sanctions of dismissal took place on June 21st, 2022, but remained unresolved for over 2 years as 2 new judges successfully took over the proceedings and subsequent evidentiary hearings were scheduled. At a second hearing on the motion for sanctions of dismissal, respondent was confronted with a receipt from a meal with Thielen. The receipt established that 2 different alcoholic drinks were ordered, one for Thielen and one for respondent. Okay. The receipt conclusively demonstrated that respondent made an affirmative misrepresentation or attempt to impeach witness Thielen regarding her purported intoxication and alcohol consumption at the meeting. So was Ariel drinking too with the client? Following the receipts of all the evidence and review of the prior transcripts of hearing, the trial court ultimately noted the classic she said nature of evidence and determined it was not necessary to resolve the conflict between the two sides. The court denied the motion for sanctions as saying the evidence did not arise to the level required to dismiss the action. The court order specifically noted it did not speak on behalf of the Florida bar, leaving it to the Florida Supreme Court to determine any ethical violations. Respondent conduct as described above violated the rules, the following rules regarding the Florida bar. Rules 4-4.1, transactions with person other than clients, truthfulness in statements to other, and 4-8.8c, dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. The Florida bar respectfully requests that this court appropriately discipline respondent under the rules regulating the Florida bar. Wow. This is a bar council, the Florida bar. There's the address and everything. This lady, and this is again on the Trey Songs. We've briefly talked about the Trey Songs lawsuit here. Dang. Oh my God, Vicky. I did shout out Miss Pam Esquire, the law intellect, by the way. Thank you for the heads up on this. I was able to pull the bar complaint thing. So it's for the Florida bar. So she was working with the witness. So this is the allegation, and I had heard this allegation before that, she was trying to pay a witness to, or at least promise to pay. It's very detailed. Promise to pay a witness to say something against Trey Songs, and then have that media coverage happen there. So all of this is kind of coming back to the lady, but I guess to see how far this goes, you know? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. You said you wish you could play GTA again. GTA is a whole different thing. Never wanted to go to Florida. I see why now. I've never been to Florida, and I want to go. I want to go. I've never been. It's on my bucket list though. It really is. But let me know what y'all think. You said he took a page off of Suge Knight's. You said a lot of adults playing games, and they're the ones doing the ish. The kids playing games never been the issue. Ooh. You're in Florida right now? Baby Shark didn't wake him up. Oh my God, Tinkle Tits. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, truly, it's a lot of different things. Will the lady get in trouble? It does make you wonder. So many Florida bars. Kid plays loose with the law. Well, don't like she just did too much. That's the thing. You're from Orlando? Go to the Gulf Coast. I have y'all are talking about games. Okay. Y'all are crazy. But I do wonder what's gonna come out of that. And don't forget, she's still being sued by Diddy. Diddy and Courtney Burgess is being sued by Diddy. And Courtney Burgess is like late. A lot of these people that came out swinging against Diddy, making all kinds of allegations, are making like, I don't know, all kinds of things. All kinds of things they're being said. Overall, used to live in West Palm Beach. But yeah. Let's see. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Diddler needs funds. I read. You said they need funds. You said I like to have games. I'm a game tester for. You are a game for AE, like The Sims, the creator of The Sims. Lucky you. I remember The Sims used to be my favorite game when I was like, when it first came out. Not so. I haven't played it in so many years though. Oh my God, Aduko, I'm jealous. Yeah, aren't they the creators of The Sims? What is it? EA or AE? I always say AE. EA? Wow. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll probably be doing a video later on today. Part 2 of the stuff that we needed to discuss. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Okay. I will see you guys on the next one, and have a great day. Bye, guys. Oh, and thank you for everybody that supported the channel today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.